Welcome. In today's video, we're going to be adding another piece to the Overland square body, and that is a switch panel. I got the Colight LED 12 gang switch panel. We're going to do a little unboxing. I'm going to go over the features of it, then we're going to install it onto the truck. So let's get into it. First things first, let's unbox. Okay, first things first, let's check out the box. It's a 12 gang switch panel with constant light, momentary, and strobe. We will be testing that out. It's RGB backlit with a memory function, and it says intelligent 10 through 100%, which I'm guessing is the brightness control for this, so it's not blinding you at night on the trail or at camp. Also on the back, what I really like about it is it has a wiring diagram. So if you lose the directions inside of the box, it's on the outside of it, so you can help get this thing wired up, and it tells you which circuit goes to which on the switch panel, and then how many amps is the circuit itself. So that is a awesome addition just to the package. Slide the box off. I'm gonna keep this to the side, and opening it up, this is what we are looking at. Oh, cool. They have included some stickers also for your vehicle. So we'll put those to the side. We'll put the foam to the side. And looking at it, here is the instructions and everything it comes with, along with all of the circuits, just like on the outside of the box. And it comes with the stickers for the switch panel itself. Then in here is the switch panel. I don't know how much wiring is included with this. I will put that in the video so you guys have an idea. Kind of looking at it, looks pretty good quality. This is metal. All the switches seem good. On, off, RGB, and I'm guessing the brightness. And then it is, looks like it has some resin in the back to help keep it waterproof. And then it has the screws, or the screw, to help connect this connector right here to help keep it waterproof also. Here is the setup itself. Popping it open. Cool, this is all covered in resin also, so it is water resistant, at least for the circuit board and all the switches on the inside. Looking at it, I'm not entirely sure which one is the positive and negative, so I'll have to revert back to the instructions for it. I guess for future reference, I hope that they put, you know, a negative and a positive, however that goes, so you don't accidentally fry this thing hooking it up wrong. But this is all metal also, and it comes with fuses, so that is good, and they're labeled also, along with on the side the 10 through 30 amp on each side. And it looks like it has extra fuse holders built into the lid, so that's awesome. Here is all of your hardware with extra fuses. That's cool, so it should make installing this pretty easy. Then here is the wires. It looks like, okay, so this has two positives and a negative, so negative straight from your battery, then a jumper from your battery to the circuit breaker, and then from the circuit breaker to the panel itself. So that's cool that they include that. And then comes with zip ties. You know, that's a Overlander's best friend is zip ties, at least for me, I guess. And then the last thing is, if I could get it out, is the mounting brackets. So it looks like it has a couple different mounting options, just based on, you know, how you're gonna mount it and how that goes. I'm not entirely sure where I'm gonna mount this in the cab yet. I just gotta look for a good spot, hopefully using some existing holes, so I don't drill any new holes into the dash or anything like that. So now that we've got this thing unboxed, I'll move the box to the side, and let's get to installing this switch panel, and then we can test it. As I was picking up the box to throw it away, I actually heard some metal moving around, and here's the brackets for the relay setup itself. So it gives you plenty of options to mount this thing underneath the hood or wherever you feel like. And then also, one thing I noticed was on the cover, it has a positive and a negative. So there is your indicators for your terminals. That's your negative, and that is your positive, so you don't get this thing wired backwards and burn it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is mount the bracket for the relays itself. I found a good spot on the inner fender right above the glow plug controller. So that's what I'm going to do, is bolt up this bracket, and then I will show you guys how it looks afterwards. Got the bracket bolted on nice and tight. So the next step is bolt the relay setup on. There's channels on each side for your accessories, and then the one channel on the bottom for the positive and negative. So I'm going to leave that all open on the sides, and then the button is up top there, so I could be able to access that. So I'm going to get this thing bolted down, and then from there we'll start running the power and negative wires. Well, I got the positive and negative ran from the battery, the positive from the terminal to the circuit breaker, and then jumping to the switch panel, and then the negative straight from the battery. I shouldn't have any issues with clearance with this negative and the fuse, the 10 amp right there, so I should be good to go on this. If not, I'll make a longer one in the future. I do have the breaker off, and then up here is a indicator LED to let me know that I have power to it. So we'll click it on. The thing turned on, so we are good with the power running to it. The next step is I'm going to figure out a spot in the cab to hook up the 12 gang switch. Climbing up in the cab of the truck, I have the switch panel with me, and I already put the mounting bracket on the back of it so I could kind of visualize where I want to mount it, and I kind of have an idea already. I want to avoid my legs, hitting it and everything like that, so I don't, mess it up on the dash itself, but I also want it easy to access. And I can easily access the radio, so I figured if I mount this switch panel right below it and slightly below the bezel, so if I need to remove my dash bezel in the future, I can without needing to remove the switch setup. All right, we are in business, fully bolted up, fully in place, not going anywhere. And it is easy to reach. I can easily reach the radio and the switch panel, turn it on and off, change everything. Zero issues. I really like this spot for it. Easy to get to. My knee won't hit it or anything while I am driving. So we're good. Now that this is mounted up, we need to run this wire to the engine bay so I can connect it to the switch panel. Then from there, we'll get to testing. All right, we have the wire connected to the switch panel, and what I really like about it is keyed, and then there is a O-ring, and then that slip collar that threads on to hold everything tight with that. All right, so climbing into the cab, we have everything hooked up. First thing I'll do is turn it on. I do have the instructions with me to go through all of the buttons. So the first one, power button, the first color is red. And this does have a memory function that will remember your last setting automatically. This is the brightness. So it says 5 levels of brightness. So if you just short press it, it's 100, 75, 50, 25, and 10. Cycling through those 5. Then if you long press it, it will get into your setting modes, which would be constant light, momentary, and strobe, which we will test out soon. And then this one down here is your backlight settings. So there is 8 colors. It is red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, and white. And then you could cycle through those. And then it says if you long press it, it will get into, it's doing the gradient right now. And then if you long press it again, it should jump between colors. Trying to figure this out. All right, looks like it is slowly going through the colors, and then it has another setting for breathing, and it just acts like it's breathing through each of the colors nice and slow like that. And then to test out the strobe and the momentary, what I'll do is hook up a light to it, so then we can test it out and really see how those functions work. All right, so kind of messing with this, I got it figured out now, at least for the momentary mode right now. So what you do is you turn it on and you press this button until it's red. While it's blinking red, that's the button for the rock light that I hooked up to this switch panel. It's the KC Cyclone, an amber one. So what you do is you set it to whatever you want momentary on while it is blinking red like this. And then you turn it off, then you turn it back on, and the light or whatever you have hooked up only works while you are pressing the button. So it's only momentary, and while you are holding the button, that light or whatever you have hooked up to it will turn on. So that's how that works. And then to go back into it, to turn that off, you could go back to the blinking, turn it off, and then do that. You know, hit the power button to undo it, turn it on, then it will stay on permanently, on and off. So that's how the momentary mode works. We went through the normal settings and the momentary. Now let's do the strobe. So you turn it on like normal, just like with the momentary. You press it till it is blinking red, hit it one more time so it's blinking blue, and then whatever you want to strobe, you choose that. With us, it's that rock light. You select it, turn off the panel, turn it back on, and hit it, and your rock light or whatever you have hooked up to it should be strobing. It's not a crazy strobe where it's going extremely fast to possibly set off anybody with that condition where flashing lights and strobing will make you have a seizure. But it looks like it turns on for a second, turns off, and just keeps blinking back and forth. So whatever situation is useful for that, I think it's just a good feature to have included. And then same thing with the momentary. You know, if you have ditch lights, anything like that, you could turn on your ditch lights just for a second, just to, you know, see what's around you on your on the trail at night. But then to turn it off, you do the same exact thing as the momentary, but make it go blue, turn off the switch, turn off the whole panel, and you are good to go. Should make it just turn on and off, so you are good. I really like those settings. I won't have too many uses for them other than maybe like the ditch lights setup or anything like that with the momentary, but it's good to have it and not need it, then need it and not have it. So I'm extremely happy with that. All right, I'm gonna keep this instruction manual inside the glove box with everything, just so, you know, I don't forget how to turn on the strobe or momentary in the future or anything like that. So I'm going to keep that in the glove box. My only gripe with this entire system is the stickers. And what it is they only have one blank black sticker. I wish they had enough to cover everything. So, you know, people that only have one or two accessories at the moment but want to expand it, they at least have the blank stickers to cover everything, just so it's not exposed squares. So that's my only gripe with this whole setup is Colight LED. Please include more blank black stickers, just so it's not completely open, and you can help cover that up to reduce the cab light at night in the vehicle. So that's my only gripe whatsoever with this setup. Other than that, I'm extremely happy with it, and as our accessories grow on the truck, with rock lights, a chase light, I'm gonna have a oil cooler and a transmission cooler remotely hooked up to it, and then light bar, you know, pod lights, everything like that. So I think the 12 gang switch setup for an overland vehicle like ours, you know, gives you the freedom to grow as many accessories as you want connected to it, or have, you know, just a couple without having random switches everywhere. Everything is on that switch panel and the relay setup. So I'm extremely happy with it. But that's all for now. You know, thank you so much for watching. I will have a discount code to Colight LED down below in the description, along with a link to their website and everything that I have used in this video. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.